Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Craft and Create. This is episode number 9, and we're calling it Superfoil Sunday. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so not sure how many people are going to be watching the Super Bowl, but I'm not interested. And I thought it was the perfect time to pull out my foiling options and build up a little bit of a stash. I have had some people reach out and they wanted me to review foiling. So I thought this was a perfect way to do it. Oh, look, we're going to get lots of people tonight. I knew you guys wouldn't be interested in the Super Bowl. Cheryl said she's a fan of TSF, but not football. I mean, I'm sure I could get into it, but I'd rather craft. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll just give everyone a second or two here just to log in and find us. Hello, hello, everyone. So if you're tuning in, just jump on the chat and say hello. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can tonight. Diane's going to watch both. Okay, and that's okay too. You know, I know there are some Super Bowl fans out there. This video will be on our YouTube channel all the time, so you can always come back and revisit it. And another reason I'm doing it is for a tool, because we do get a lot of customers asking about foiling. So now when we email them back, we can say, you know what, I did a video, here it is. You can kind of review it, and if you have any questions, you can let us know. But I'm hoping to cover all the basic stuff here. I know there'll probably be people tuning in that foil all the time. There might be some tuning in just to find out about foiling, which is good too. Colleen says she's actually here. I saw Colleen earlier this week, and she said Sunday she's not usually home, but last Sunday she was and forgot to tune in. So I'm glad to have you. Okay, so there are two types of foiling. One of them is toner based, and one of them we'll call glimmer based. And when I say glimmer, it means that there are plates involved. They used to be called foil plates, glimmer hot foil plates, but now you will often hear them referred to as better press plates. I forget what Spellbinders is now calling them. They've just rebranded everything. Let me pull it up so I can see, so I tell you correctly. Because it is kind of confusing for people. I just want to pull up something that is new, and I will get it here in just a second. So they're calling it press and foil. So the thing is, when foiling first started on the Glimmer machine, you got foil plates that were gold, and that kind of differentiated them from other plates. They kind of looked like this. But now the plates will look like this. They're kind of a silver color. And depending on the manufacturer, they may look a little bit different. So it can be confusing. And then there's also two types of foil on the market as well. And that gets confusing because if you buy the wrong foil for the wrong machine, it will not work. And sometimes I get confused. If I've used one more than the other for a while, then I pull things out and I'm like, why isn't this working? And 90% of the time, it's because I have the wrong foil. So it is actually very easy to do. If you have a notebook and you want to take notes, feel free. Like I said, I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can. Sometimes I get talking and doing, and I forget to look over at the computer to see the comments, but I will try to do my best. So we have some people, like just in the comments, how many people have foiled, are comfortable with foiling? Do you prefer one type of foiling over the other? That kind of thing. Brenda says she do not know anything about Glimmer or Better Press. Well, I'm going to educate you. And again, I'm not a pro at it. I know what I know. And I'm always learning things too. I will say with foiling, it can be a little fussy at times. If you if the variables are not right. So in other words, your machine is too hot, you're not using the right foil, too much pressure, et cetera, et cetera. So there are a few things to play around with, but I would say 90% of the time I get very good results. So once you kind of get the hang of it, then it's pretty cool. So let me see here. I have foiled, but don't do it much because and then it stops. Is there more comments there? Because I what? Have done both, but not comfortable with Glimmer. Okay, I know they can be a bit intimidating. Megan loves her new Glimmer. Yes, Megan was spoiled at Christmas. Her husband got her a Glimmer machine, a Platinum 6, and the Scout. Like, where do we get husbands like that? Joanne says has better press system and mixed results. Have always forget to shim and warm up long enough. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. You require a little bit of patience. Sometimes when I'm doing it live, I can get some funny results because I have it on for a very long time and I'm doing like one thing after another, after another, after another. So it can overfoil sometimes, but we're hoping for none of that tonight. I have foil, have both. Don't do it a lot, but like it. Okay. I only do toner foiling. I'm happy with that. Have foiled, but not much because I'm never sure what I'm doing. Andy. This is my second attempt. The first was unsuccessful. So Colleen, are you actually going to foil tonight? Live, like in your house? I've done press foiling, but no toner. Okay. I foil with both the Fuse and the Glimmer. I'm really starting to love it. Oh yeah. And at Christmas time, it's really nice because you can add that little bit of sparkle and it's just so impressive, especially if you're giving your cards to like non-card makers because they're just like, whoa, how did you do that? So it's really fun. Christine Schwegel says she has better luck with her Glimmer. Okay. Tanya says she loves all the foiling, but I have a plate like what you're showing and it doesn't run through my Spellbinder's Platinum machine easily. Okay. So, well, hopefully I can shed some light on that. I don't have any problems with my plate going through my machine. Love using Glimmer, but always open to learning new tricks. Yes. So I agree with you, Cheryl Fraser. Foiled sentiments look amazing. And there's ways to do black foiling and white foiling. So you don't have to have like shimmer and shine all the time and still get some pretty impressive results. So lots of fun things. Foiled, but not great results. Okay. Oh, good for you, Colleen. Okay, so we're going to get started. So I'm going to go through a couple of things today. So my goal is to get a few things done for my stash. So, because again, the machines are one of those things that when you pull it out, you want to try to do several things with it before you tuck it away again. Because most of us don't have our Glimmer machines or our Mink machines sitting out, or our Fuse machines, whatever toner style you use. We don't have them sitting out on our desks all the time. So it does require a little bit of effort to dig everything out. And when I'm doing it, I try to do several things. So tonight I'm going to build up a little stash of sentiments because I really don't have that many foiled. I tend to right now be in the situation where I'm like, oh, I want to foil that. So I got to pull everything out. And I don't like that. So I'm going to do some sentiments. I'm also going to do some sentiments with my toner foiling as well. Maybe a couple of backgrounds as well, just to have some done. But also, I'm going to talk a little bit about storage because you guys are always really interested in what I do for storage. And I have a couple of options that I'm going to share with you. So if you struggle with your foil, mine is not really set up properly yet. It's my next thing. I've been working on several things in my craft room over the last 6 months or so, just trying to get really efficient ways of storage. And the next thing on my list is foil because I recently organized my foil panels, which I use for my toner foiling. And I also have 2 empty drawers in my storage cabinet that is located directly behind where I sit. Currently, I have a couple of bins on a Rascog, and I have to wheel the Rascog over to where I'm working in order to use it, which is fine. But I've had some space open up in my craft room, and I'm going to be using that for foil storage. So I'm going to be able to remove one, if not both, Rascogs from my craft room, which will be great. I don't like a really cluttered room. I was just talking to Shelby about this today. I feel like as I get older, I need less chaos in my life. I don't know how you guys are, but I can't stand when everything is so chaotic all the time. I'm really having a hard time with it. Maybe I need therapy or something. I don't know. I think it's just been such a fast-paced environment for me for a long time. And I just feel like I just need to simplify some things and slow them down. And clutter is one of them. I need organization. So I've been thinking about it a lot. And for me, something compact and easy is really important. So I'm going to move some of these things out of the way here so we aren't working on a cluttered desk, because I don't like that either. So the thing that I've really been eyeing up lately is for my foil itself is this. This is the Simple Storage Big Binder from Tailored Expressions. I know, 2 empty drawers, right? I don't know where they came from. I actually do know. I didn't get rid of. I sized down the section that I had for heat transfer and vinyl. I still need to have some of that in my craft stash, but I was able to size it down into one bin, and it is now being stored downstairs. So it's not in my craft room. So because I was not organized, I had 2 drawers of that. So that is now out of my room, because it's not something I use very often, but with my husband's business, sometimes we have to make t-shirts. So I need to have that available. But anyways, that's where the 2 drawers came from. So I was excited. I had 2 drawers, but I really want to be efficient in my room. So I'm kind of like, okay, what do I really want to use these drawers for? So I really like this idea. And the reason I like this is because the foil for me needs to be easily accessible. Right now, everything is either in these boxes or in these tubes or in this. So it's bulky. It's just messy. I mean, I kind of have it organized on my cart, but every time I want something, I have to like dig through the big pile and try to find it. And I don't love that experience. So Karen says, I find clutter causes stress, and it really does for me. And I find I'm not, I don't want to use it if I can't get to it easily. So this is going to be my thing. So what I want to do, I love this flat idea. And I've seen lots of people doing storage this way. So in here, you can buy these pouches. They're called Perfect Pouches. And you don't have to use the binder if you don't want to. You can just use the pouches. And because I have a drawer, I might end up not using the binder, but I also have shelves in my room right in front of me where I have several of these binders already, and it would be very easy to have them stored on the shelf. So, and again, very easily accessible. I just pull the binder down, I can open it up, and then I would have these pouches. Now, inside the pouches would be my sheets of foil. So they lay flat, and they're compact, and I can organize them by color, which I love. I don't really care who makes the foil. So it doesn't matter to me if they're from Gina K or if they're from the Deco Foil, etc. So that part doesn't bother me. It does matter if they're Glimmer or toner. So I will need to differentiate that way. But for me, it's more important for color. So if I want gold foil, I'm just going to go to my gold foil pouch. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to take out pieces that I need. The other great thing about this is that all the scraps can go back in the pouch. So if you have little pieces left over, or if you have pieces that you foiled, like this one here, maybe you can't see that. Let me try the back side of this. So this one here, so oops, can you see that? So it's kind of been foiled already, but I can still use this piece. And I don't want to throw it in the garbage. I might not want to use it right this minute, but I do want to use it. So that's a good way to store the leftover pieces as well, because everything is flat. And I do like that. So yes, they can be a little bit staticky. I'm finding that I don't use it if I have to go through a lot of trouble to get it out 100%, because you know what? I want to craft when I'm crafting. I don't want to be like running around my room trying to find things, or, you know, pulling out a bunch of stuff that I don't really need, because I find for myself, I end up making more messes, and then that's just something else. It's another job. So I do like this idea a lot. So this is what I'm planning on storing my foil in. So it doesn't matter what size the foil comes in, because you can cut it down to fit inside here however you want to organize it. You can use folded pieces of printer paper as a folder, and then you can slip pieces in there. So if you want to keep like patterned silver foil separate from a solid silver foil, that kind of thing, you can do that. It protects it from just being a big jumbled mess as well. So you can do that within your pouch. But I think that's going to be the best option for me. And like I said, I still haven't determined whether or not I'll be using the binder or whether I'll just be using my drawer. I feel like the binder is going to be a better option for me, because it's nothing to pull a binder or two off the shelf, and then it opens up like a book, and it's just really easy to go through. So, and then I can take the individual pouches out as well. They just pop out of the binder. And then if I'm going somewhere like a friend's house to craft, and I know I'm going to use just gold and silver foil, I don't have to take the whole binder. I can just take my gold and silver pouches. So it's very easy and compact. So I like that idea. And then foils like this, they can stay in the package if I want them to, and it still fits in there quite nicely. The only thing I don't like about this, and I was unpacking some foil when I was just getting started here, is that they do have adhesive on the closures, and the foil sticks to it. So this piece is stuck to the adhesive that's on there. So I'm going to have to get that off. And that's the part I don't want to fuss with. I just want to take it out of the pouch, put it back in the pouch. It's just fast and easy. So I don't think I'll leave them in here, but maybe if it's an unopened package and I haven't even used any yet, I might pop it in there. But I think I'm going to end up taking things out of here. I don't like this. So that is what I'm kind of thinking. Now, once my projects are foiled, like after I do all my foiling tonight, I'm not going to put them in here. That's not going to work for me. A while back, we did a little giveaway where we gave away these tabbed dividers and pouches from Spellbinders. And I showed you how I organized my cardstock scraps, which, by the way, I have used so many of my scraps since I did this. It's unbelievable. Last Sunday night when I did the St. Patrick's Day card, all the green cardstock that I used was from my scrap bin. So here's my scrap bin. And here is the pouches and the dividers. So I just love this. I can pull this over to my desk, or I can pull out just the folders that I want, and it works so good. So that is what I used my first set of file folders and pouches for. And then I had to wait for them to come back in stock. And we were able to order a bunch, and they are available now. So if you got the free ones and you really loved them, I wasn't even sure we were going to be able to get them, but we did. And they're here now. So I have a full, well, okay. I ordered quite a few sets for myself because I just know this is a system that works really well for me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, here I have a set open. I'm going to set up a section for foiled sentiments and foiled panels. Now the panels I think I might put back in with my actual foiled panel section once they're done, because so here's a good idea. I cut off the top of the Gina K foil packet and it works perfectly. Yep, that will work too. That's a good idea for keeping those inside the sleeve, and then you don't have to open the bottom. I might do that because sometimes you just, if they already lay flat, then it's okay to keep them in there. So that's a great idea. But I'm going to set up a little system where I have my foiled sentiments in these dividers, and I'll do it by theme. So I'll put birthday sentiments together. I'll put wedding and anniversary together. I'll put sympathy together. I'll put Christmas together, that sort of thing. So that what I can do is just grab one of my pouches and I can just dump out what I need, sort through it, and then throw it back in the pouch. So that is what I'm going to be doing, I think, for things when I have them foiled. So I'm going to see how that works. I think it's going to work really well. That's just the kind of person that I am. But I know that these types of storage don't work for everybody. Not everybody has a dedicated space for their craft supplies. They have to bring it to the kitchen table or bring it to the dining room table, and it might sit out for a week or whatever. And then you have to kind of pack it all back up. So you kind of have to figure out what works for you. But I've learned over the years that I'm a bin person. I love bins. I love things to be out in the open where I can just grab a bin, kind of go through it quickly, pull out what I want, put the bin back, and then when I clean up any extra pieces and things that go with that, just go back in the sleeve. So it works really well for me. But I thought I would pass along what I was going to be doing. I won't get into too much of that tonight. I want to focus more on the foiling. So any questions so far? I think we've talked about all the things that people have said so far, but anything you want to talk about first? I think I'm going to start with the toner foiling with my mink. So I've had a mink for a very long time. I know Gina K has come out with the fuse. So that works the same way. Some people use a laminator for their heat source. That's okay too if you've got a laminator that works for you. It can be hit and miss depending on the laminator and what options it gives you. So the fuse and the mink give you heat settings. So you can kind of control how hot or how cool you want your machine to be. So it is, I think, a better choice if you're going to get into the foiling market to buy something that was meant to actually foil. You can laminate with this machine as well, and I do it all the time. If you need to laminate anything, you can use it like a laminator, but I use it often to make storage options for my craft room. Like I've made laminated tabs for sorting through my stencils and that kind of thing. I have divider cards made up for all of my stamps and dies. So there's lots of things you can do with it aside from the foiling, but that's what it's actually made for. And I'm going to turn this on, and I am going to heat it up to number 3. I find with my machine, number 3 works really well with the foil panels, but each machine, although created sort of the same way, they either run hot or run cold. They're kind of like humans. So you might have to go to 4 on yours, and somebody else might go to 2. So it just depends. So Natalie says, someone told me that foil goes bad if not used for a very long time, like years. Have you ever heard of that? Well, I have foil in my stash that I've had for many, many years. So I haven't experienced it myself. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I would imagine that storage would play a big part in that. So if you have it sitting in your craft room where the sun comes in a window or something and shines on it, that might be a problem. If you live somewhere where it's really humid or really hot, maybe if you don't have air conditioning in the summer and humidity gets involved, like there could be other factors that could cause it to go bad, but I don't think foil itself will go bad. But I don't know. I'm not a foil expert, so I can't really say. That's the first time I've heard that, but I would think that there would have to be other factors involved, not just the foil itself. So Connie says she's created laminated dividers for her dies. I have too. It's great. It's fun when you can kind of, come up with some DIY things. Although I do really appreciate all the manufacturers that make great storage options. So do you have the full size mink as well? I sure do. I have it stored downstairs in a closet that has my Silhouette machine and a few other things. Yes. So several reasons why I have a larger mink. One, sometimes if you like to use it for laminating, if you want to do anything like 8.5 by 11 or anything like that, you want to put the larger sheets through, then you're going to need to have the larger machine. I also dabble, and I mean this truly, I dabble a little bit with mixed media. And sometimes I will create a background and my paper is like warbly. You can put a full 12-inch piece of cardstock through the large machines and it will flatten it out. It's kind of like an iron. Now, if you have any like stickles or anything that will melt, you don't want to put that through. But if it's just like dry ink or anything like that, you can just run that through and it kind of irons it out. And then you mentioned about the foilets from Tailored Expressions are now 8.5 by 11. So that is a good point, except that I'm just going to pull it out here. I'll pull out one. So here's the snowflake one. This is the snowflake quad. But these panels can be cut down and you can use them once you have them, like you can foil them and then go ahead and stencil with them, but you have to cut them down first if you don't have a bigger machine. So personally, you need to decide whether or not you would use a larger machine often enough to justify having the 8.5 by 11 one. But if you're just putting through the smaller panels, or you can get away with cutting something down and you don't see yourself wanting anything more than a 6-inch opening, then this one will do the job, and the fuse will as well. So we normally stock both sizes. I'm not sure if we have a large one in stock right now. I didn't check before I went live, but we do try to keep one in stock for sure, because inevitably it sells quite frequently. So some people decide they do need the larger one, but those are the instances when you would need it if you wanted to put a 12-inch piece of paper through, or a full 8.5 by 11 sheet. I mean, by all means, it would be easy to foil this whole piece in one shot. So if you could do that, then 100%. Do you know if you can use acetate sheet from the Better Press registration guide on the Glimmer? Will it melt? Nope, it's designed to go on the Glimmer. So I've used it on my Glimmer machine before, because if you are foiling with your Better Press plates and you need to align them, it's okay to use that. They do use a heavier weight. The other option that you can do, Linda, if you're concerned, is you can, all the Better Press plates that come with registration, I believe in the product description on the Spellbinders website is a downloadable PDF that you can print out, that you can print in paper, and then you can use the paper version for your Glimmer if you're concerned. But I have used mine. Now don't go, she's not going to try it tonight. Great. I hope it doesn't melt on you. But yeah, so you can print them off too, but because I think they have that printable option in case you lose anything. But yeah, I've used it. So anyways, we are going to do something because you're all listening to me talk. So I'm going to pull out a regular foil panel from Tailored Expressions. I have some sentiment ones. So this one is the Altogether Occasions. So this has a stamp set, which would stamp out exactly what you see here. And then there is a matching die. And they have a foil it option. So if you like to foil and you already own the die set, then it's nice to pick up the panels, because then if you want to foil your sentiments, you can. And this is where I feel like, unless I have them done ahead of time, I'm just going to go ahead and use my stamp set because it's just easier. But if I get some of these panels done and they're foiled already, then I'm more likely to use a foiled sentiment. So I'm going to pull one of these out, and I'm going to do a couple of them actually, because I get 12 in a package. Oh, wait a minute. We get different ones in here. Well, let's just see. Oh, look at that. So we get this one 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, so we get this version 5 times, and then we get 1, 2, 3, 3 of those, and 3 of those. And I believe I have a die already that cuts this out as well. So for now, I'm just going to focus on this. And I'm going to do, so my favorite foil colors, let's talk about that. There are lots of foil colors available, like a lot. There's all different colors, every color under the rainbow. Personally, I tend to gravitate to the metallic colors. So gold, silver, rose gold, copper, that kind of thing. And then black and white. So those are my top choices. But I do love having the options of like red and green for Christmas. I have some rainbow options. I have some teal ones for summertime. So there's lots of different things that you can get. It just depends on what you want to do. So you kind of have to decide that. And I mean, foil's not overly expensive. So to have a roll or two of additional colors that you don't maybe use all the time, but that you use sometimes or might use sometimes is not a bad thing. So, but definitely for me, I definitely go for the metallics all the time. So I'm going to do this one in gold, obviously, because I feel like I would use gold. So I've got some gold foil here. And what I'm going to do, so this one comes with sheets that are 8.5 by 5.5. No, 6 by 12. Sorry, 6 by 12. And then you can roll them back up and store them in the tube. But I hate doing that. Like I really do. So this I could just take out of the tube and I could store this right in my pouch because I believe that pouch is big enough. Yep. So within the pleats, I could just take that out and I could put it right in there. So it would fit in there, and it's way easier to get it in and out. But I have the tubes for now. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of gold foil and I am going to cut it. Now, a lot of people ask too, what do you use to cut foil? Well, I have discovered that it's very flimsy and staticky. So I like to personally use an X-Acto knife and a ruler on my glass mat. Now, somebody had piped up in one of my previous lives and said that they used a knife on their glass mat and they got marks on it. Now, I have not experienced that. I feel like I don't use a lot of pressure. I tend to run my X-Acto knife back and forth a few times and then it will just kind of cut. So again, I don't know. I don't think that it should do damage if you're not pressing too hard, but don't quote me, but that's what I do. I'm going to measure just quickly how big of a piece I need here. I don't want to waste foil. So if I do if I did a 3-inch strip, I would be fine. I like working on my glass mat too, because there's a grid on here so I can kind of measure. And then I know if I'm cutting straight. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but at least in the ballpark anyways. And I just put a new blade in my X-Acto knife, so I should be good. And there we go. Like it's cut. It's super easy. The other thing I do like to use, and I do use frequently, are the Pro Shears from Spellbinders. These are larger scissors, and I find the foil fairly easy to cut with this for sure. These are Teflon coated, so they're really nice. And while we're talking about these, I should bring up this because we are giving away the baby version right now for free with an $85 purchase. So these are also Teflon coated, very pointy. These are my go-to scissors. I use these almost every single time I craft. And I have lots of scissors in my stash, but these ones are the ones I go to all the time. So if you are looking for a really good pair of scissors or just an additional pair of scissors and you order by midnight tonight, you can get these for free. So that is that. But the Pro Shears work really nicely. We are sold out of these. They are reordered. So we're waiting for them to come back in. Obviously used too much pressure. Oh, Cheryl, that was you. So bought Spellbinders foil cutting. I also have that too. I have the foil cutting pad and stuff. And you can cut on that pad too. It's like a little self-healing mat. So that works too. That's a good option. Does the foil mark easily? I wouldn't say easily, but it does. So you want to be careful when you're working with foil. You don't want to scratch this side because then you scratch the foil off and then you would have a blank space. So just want to be gentle with it, but it's tough enough that you don't have to worry too much. Now, the other thing that you have to be concerned about is dust between your foil and the toner printer, the printing that you have here. So if you can either have like a clean microfiber cloth or a Swiffer sheet or something, just to wipe the panel off quickly, and even your foil, before you place it on. Okay, so that way you've done the best you can to eliminate anything between the foil and the printing. Like I said before, it's not a perfect science. If you get results like 90% of the time, you're going to be doing great. Now, I pulled out a carrier sheet before. Now, what the heck did I do with it? Okay, well, I got another one. I'll just get another one. Okay, so ideally you need a carrier sheet to run your stuff through the machine. They are designed to conduct the heat better. So ideally, this is what you should be using. If you don't have that, you can fold printer paper or parchment paper and use that. But I don't like to do that all the time. I like to try to get good results each time I foil. So I try to use the proper tools. Now, the other thing is folded edge goes into the machine first because there's less likely of a chance that it's going to jam that way. If you have open sides, it could jam. Okay, so you're just going to put this in the opening straight and it'll just catch. So if you put it in a little bit crooked, the more it goes into the machine, the more crooked it's going to get. This does have a reverse button on the back here, so you can push that and it'll come back out. But I've heard lots of people say that they've got their folders jammed in there. So just take your time and fold it end through and make sure it's straight. And you should have no problem. And you just kind of got to let it do its thing. You can't do this in a hurry. There's no sense in rushing it. Just let it go through and it'll just pop out the other side. You'll know when it's done. It just pops right out. And then I just kind of let it cool just a little bit before I pull the foil off. I mean, it's not super hot. Like, it's warm when you touch it, but it's not super hot. And you can kind of see that the foil has grabbed on in several areas here. And that's where that black toner printing is. So that is what you want. The pressure from the rollers and the heat is pushing, fusing that foil onto the toner that's printed there. And then you just peel this off and you have beautifully foiled. Just going to get my light to catch it. So see there? So those are all foiled. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the matching die for this. I'm going to lay it over top and I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to end up with all of these beautifully foiled sentiments that I can add to my stash. And rather than just stamping them out, they are foiled. So it's that easy. And like I said, I'm going to do this a couple of times. So again, I can save this. And there are pre-tonered paper options. And I need to bring in more inventory in this because it's great for the waist piece. So you can put this on a pre-tonered panel. Sometimes they are colored. Oh, you know what I can use? Do I have my polyglaze handy? Okay, because Gina K has polyglaze sheets and they are tonered. I'm just not sure where mine are. Ugh. See, this is the thing. I'm not organized and I don't like that because I should be able to just reach in and grab them, which I obviously can't do. But I have some black ones here. What's this? Toner sheets. Okay. Well, I can pull this out. I'm just going to look in my bin here because maybe I have some at the back. These are black toner sheets. And I'm not seeing any polyglaze ones just sitting here, which is really unfortunate because I would have liked to have used those. So basically what's going to happen when I use the waist, we'll call it, which is where I lost that already. Huh. What did I do with it? Oh. Did I walk over there with it? Maybe I did. Sometimes I set things on the ground. Let me just see. Did I put it over here? No, I didn't. Well, how does that just disappear? I just got up for a second. Huh. I'm just looking through my bin here because I don't know what I did with that toner sheet. Did you guys see where I put it? It's attached to the back of your deco foil. It is? Where? Oh, right here. Thank you. Okay. So I have a piece. It's stuck in the package. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, I need somebody to be in my office with me when I'm doing these things and be my assistant. So now, okay, so now I can cut a little piece of this. Okay, this could be fun. Let's do this. I have to make a note to find my polyglaze or to get some because I don't know where mine is. So I said that was about 3 inches, right? Yes. Pick me. Oh, Jillian, you don't know what you're asking for. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of black toner. Okay, so that these are toner sheets. So they're just sheets of the black ink that use that the foil sticks to when you run it through. Okay, and I'm going to use the negative piece and a piece of this, and you can see what happens. And I'm just going to quickly demo this. So I'm just going to lay that over there. And basically we're going to get the reverse. Now, if you don't get a good foil, it's not going to transfer nicely this way either, but it's kind of fun to do. So you can see already kind of what's going to happen. You're going to get black words with a gold background. Okay, so we're going to run that through. And then while that's running through, I'm going to see if I can locate the dye for this. So this is called what? I think I know which one it is. I should have pulled this stamp out before, but I didn't. By all occasions, here it is. Well, how fast was that? Okay. This one might not be the one. Nope. So this is called what? You can tell that I don't normally foil live because it can get a little chaotic. Okay, here we go. What is this called? This is called All Together Occasions. And this is called All Together Occasions. But that die does not look big enough for this. But it could be. It is. Okay, well, I was wrong. Okay, so now let's pull this out. Diane, I'm a pro at it. Okay, so now we're going to just pull this off. Okay, so now all that foil is gone. You see how we used all the waste? And it's now on here. Now, some of them are not so great, but some of them are really great. So now let's just take our die. Here's our die. And got to find the right way here. I think it goes this way. Yep. Okay, so we're going to line this up as best we can. I'm just going to take my time here so I get good coverage because I don't want to wreck them. Okay, and then we're going to, oh, see, I did it again. I want to tape that in place, and I always get it perfectly positioned and then remember to get my tape. Oh, here's a couple pieces right here. All right, so I'm just going to pull this down just a little bit. I want to make sure I'm perfectly lined up. All right, we're going to hope it's the best. Okay, so I'm going to take my die on here. I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and then I'll show you what happens. And this is, again, using the negative part. So the part you would normally throw in the garbage is the part that we're going to actually use by using those blank toner sheets. Okay. So I'm just using my little mini Scout machine here to cut these out. So now this is like super foiled. This is like lots of foil because we are using a foiled background and just the black is showing through for where the word is. So I'll just pop that out and show you what that's going to look like. So see that? So you get a lot of foil with just the black word, which is just kind of cool. I think there is a time and a place when you can use these pieces. Now, again, it didn't cost me anything except for the toner sheet to make these. Otherwise, I would have just thrown out the foil because otherwise it's just waste, right? So at least you can do something with it. I'll just get these all out and then I'll show them to you. And then I will cut out the one that we did. Oops, I just ripped that one. Oh, no, I didn't. I saved it. But these are kind of fun. And again, if you don't have a lot of other foiling on the card, it's not so bad to use these. I'm not a person who likes too much foiling. I like it as an accent. I don't like Las Vegas either. I feel like it might be a bit much. You don't get the same results with the negative piece. Which tape am I using? I'm using the Best Ever Craft tape from Spellbinders. It is my favorite. Actually, I like the one from Altenew as well, the purple tape. But this tape is heat proof, or heat resistant. So you can use it with your Glimmer machine, which is good. Yes, on a subtle background, they would be great. Okay. So Tanya, what is it that you struggle with? I thought I was the only one that could not find things. Yeah, that's me. I'm the queen of it. Just ask anybody. Okay, so now this is all waste. Now you could say this is waste. If you wanted to save this, you could like get some of your punches out or your small dies, and you could die cut this out. Like you can get glimmer hearts and stars and things like that. I'll put it in my waste pile. I won't throw it in the garbage can yet. So you can get some pretty fun things out of that. Okay, so now let's put the die on the original piece, the one that I foiled in silver, which is right here. Nope, this is in gold. Okay, but this is the one that I used, and then we got the waste piece. So let's line this one up. Sorry, I have to pull it down, otherwise I can't see. And I don't like to rush this part because if you put this plate on and it's not lined up, then your sentiments aren't going to cut properly, and then it's just not good. Okay, so I think I've got it lined up. Not nearly as clean. Okay, so it could be, are you using a Mink or a Fuse to foil, or are you using a laminator? Because if you're using a laminator, that could be your problem. It's just not getting hot enough. What setting are you using? Okay, I got to use my other machine because this is not going to fit. What setting are you using? Because those things will all be variables that will affect your outcome. And it is something that is a bit fussy. The solid transfers are the trickiest, for sure. Okay. I am just going to grab a little tray here because I'm going to put all my sentiments on my tray. And I'll use one of these tonight so that you can see. Okay. So let's put all these ones in here. I mean, there is the odd black fleck that's showing. It's not, well, it's pretty perfect. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good. They are all pretty fun. And I will use these. They are flashy, but they are nice. So that's the foiled version. I'll show it up close in a minute. Level 4 to get better results for reverse foiling. Yes, and sometimes you have to. Mink, large 1, usually on setting 3. Okay, so Tanya, maybe bump it to 4. Maybe your machine is one of those machines that just needs a little more heat. Ooh, these turned out good. Yeah, so just, play. And again, you don't necessarily have to use large pieces of foil. Just use a small little scrap piece and just try it. And then, when you start to get good results, then you can put through your larger pieces and your whatever. But you can just, okay, so I'm going to hold this up. So this is the same foiling experience. So this is the first one we did with the panel that was pre-printed and then gold foil. And then we used the waste on a black toner sheet and we got that. So I've got, look at all those sentiments I have that are all foiled, and that's just one piece. So yeah, now I know you're not really seeing the foil unless I move this around. Let's see if we can get the light to catch it. You can see it there a little bit. Come on. There it is. See? So it is all nice and foiled. So either option, those are perfect. So I love that. So you can do reverse foiling with this as well. Now I'm going to do one more set. Let's just pop these back in here. If I don't stay semi-organized when I do this, I'm going to get my foils mixed up and I'm going to have a real mess. So just bear with me here. Okay, so those are back in there. Perfect. And there's my carrier sheet. And where's my die? See, this is why when you foil, you should do several things, because it does require you to get out a few different products. And not that it's a bad thing. It's just, if I'm in the middle of making a card, I don't feel like I'm doing that. I feel like I'm going to say, you know what? I'll just put a stamped one on. It's fine today. Yes, there is such a thing as white toner sheets. And I wish I was more organized, because I know I have polyglaze around here. So Gina K makes white toner sheets and it's called polyglaze. And then your printing would be white instead of black. So yes, if you look them up, Tanya has said the right thing there. Polyglaze sheets, they're white, and you can use them the same way I did the black toner, only it's white. So pretty cool options for sure. Okay, so now we're going to pull out. What are we going to pull out now? Something a little more bold. Okay, so here's another one that I use a lot. This is the Foil It for the On Occasion stamp and die from Tailored. And this is a good example to show you that you don't always, okay, so the one I just did was an all-in-one die. So see how if you had this stamp, you would stamp the whole thing and then you die cut the whole thing. It's a plate. This particular set has individual dies for each stamp. And so you don't have to foil the whole panel if you don't want to. You can cut out just one greeting and you can foil it. And then you can pull out just the die for that and foil and then cut out the one saying. So that's what I must have done on this. I must have used a couple of them. But I'm going to foil a whole panel because I don't mind getting out the dies and cutting them all out afterwards. But there are individual dies for this. Now, the thing with this one is you can see that the print is a lot more bold. The last one that we did, I'll just pull it over here. You can see that the actual toner part was very skinny. So there are foils out there that have a pattern to them. And I want to show you the new Gina K hammered foil. So I haven't really played with this too much, but it's got texture. Can you see that? Now, if you are working with a toner panel that is got really thin printing on it, like this one did, see how the difference is? This one's much thicker. So if you are going to have like a toner maybe or a foil that has like stars or sequins or something like that. It's going to show more on the thick printing than it is on the thin. Okay, so I'm going to try something with a little bit of texture. I'm going to try this hammered foil because this is really cool. So this hammered comes in gold and silver, and then there's one called Mystic, which kind of does something a little bit different, I think. But I have the gold and the silver hammered, and I'm going to give that a try. So this this panel will fit right over top here, which is perfect. So I am going to, I have a little piece hanging off here. I'm just going to cut that. Here's my little scissors here. See, I told you I grab these scissors all the time. They sit in a little container right on my desk, and they're just something I grab constantly. Okay, so here we go. Oops, let's clean our panel, get our cloth. And this is just a precaution. And now again, you will notice more imperfections with bolder print than this too. Okay, so I'm noticing already my foil panel. Can you see on the friend, there's a little white dot? There's two of them, one on the N and one on the D. Foil's not going to stick there because there's no toner, but that's okay. I'm going to be fine with it. But I gave it a little wipe, and I'm going to put this down. Okay, and then I'm going to put this through here. Now my mink is still on, and it's just been running the whole time. So it should be fine. Okay, and I'm going to run this through. Folded end goes in first. Just kind of walk it in there till it grabs it, and I made sure it went straight. Tanya says, ooh, I can't wait to see the hammered foil. Me neither. I have not really used it, so I'm excited to see what it looks like. And this is the fun part. You get to kind of experiment a little bit and just, do fun things. Can you buy a toner pen to touch up spots like that? I'm not sure. I don't know. And it's probably not a perfect fix for it anyways. But you never know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a pro. I only know what I know. And that's not everything. I make a lot of mistakes as I go along. So I'm just going to let that just cool down just a little bit, which it has. Now I'm going to take a little peek. Ooh, it's going to be great. Okay, you guys ready? Oh, wow. That is really pretty. And you know what? Okay, I'm going to hold up the hello friend. Can you even see the spot where the black was? Nope. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get the light to hit this because can you see the texture that is created on that? Oh, that looks really cool. So it kind of looks like hammered metal or a bit of a shattered pattern, which is really fun. But you can see how the printing is much bolder. So you get more coverage with the foil. So you get to see the designs a little bit more. It is very, very pretty. And again, I know the camera can only pick up so much. I'm going to try to hold it up a little closer there so you can kind of see. Isn't that cool? Trying to get the light to hit it. There we go. So it's really... yeah. She says, wait, I need to add to my cart. Okay, I won't do anything while you're doing that. Okay, now I just did stumble across something, and I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But I was looking through here, and I have a sample. So this is kind of fun. So in here... this is I don't think we have any of these right now, but I should order some. So this is a pre-tonered piece of paper. So I know it's not black or white. It is sort of an ombre blue blend, but this is toner. So in theory, I can take this and put this over top. And do you see what the printing is going to look like? Isn't that fun? So I'm going to do it because otherwise this is waste. And I found this panel. So these I can get from Pink and Maine. And I think that I should order some of these because they have lots of different ombres available. Sometimes they even have things that are printed. Oh, that's another thing. I wonder if I have those. Oh, wait, hold on. I ordered, where did I put those? Hold on. I might be able to find them fast. We'll see. But I think I ordered Hang on. I don't like when I'm disorganized. Might be down here. Okay, well, that might have to be another video. But I thought I had ordered some panels that were toner printed. They have like confetti sprinkles and fun stuff like that, but I don't know where they are. So we'll just go with this. So this is, I'm going to put this through the Mink now. Okay, and okay, let's just put this in here and then get this on top. And now we're going to use the waste on a pre-printed toner panel. I've never done this before. This could be a flop, but I hope not. But I love how that turned out. So if you guys do not have any of that hammered foil from Gina K, we have it in gold and silver, and then there's also the Mystic. It is really cool. So Tracy says, I love the pink and main colored sheets. Any chance you can get more of the cheer foil colors? I can get anything you want, Tracy. All you have to do is email me with your list. I love to shop, so it's not a problem. Yes, but I do love these, the idea of these pre-printed toner sheets. Ooh. So there's the panel. Okay, so we're going to peel the foil off, and it's going to all have stuck everywhere except those openings. And now we have, now you can really see that hammered finish. Isn't that fun? Okay, I got to find the die for this. That's the one thing I did not think of when I was pulling out my materials, was the matching dies. So let me just see if I can find this one quick. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just hoping I have this set here, because I do lend sets out to the girls when they're designing. And if one of them has it, then I'm in trouble. Okay, let me just see quick. Okay, it's not going to be in there. It's going to look in here. Oops, no. Just give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can find it really fast. Because I would like to die cut it so you can see. But I may have lent it out. Darn it. Oh, no, I didn't. I think this is it. Yep, I found it. Woohoo! Because I just want to show you, I'll just die cut one from each so that you can see what they look like. But it's really cool. Yeah, you like the toner cards? Okay. Does it matter if you put the toner card with the foil right up to the crease, or should you leave a space? I kind of pull it back a little bit, but I think it would be okay if you put it right in. But there's room in the folder, so I just pull it back just a bit. Just that way, you know, you give yourself a little space. Okay, so what I have here are the dies. And I'm just going to pull out, I'll pick one of the lighter ones just because it'll be easier to see. But you'll get the idea of what it looks like when you cut this out. And again, I'm just taking my time here for a second to get this lined up. Okay, and then this is definitely a panel that you will want to keep when you're done cutting out your sentiments, because it has a lot of that foiled finish on it, and you can use like heart dies and other things to use that paper, like all this area over here. You don't want to waste that. You want to make sure that you use that. Oh, there I am. See, hello. And then I'll just use a different die over here. We'll do, trying to line these up is always fun. This is the thank you one. Okay. So here we go. We'll just, and the nice thing about using a foil with a finish on it, meaning like, you know, stars or the hammered or whatever, if there are slight imperfections in your foil experience, like if you put it through and a little bit of the foil doesn't attach to the toner, you don't see it. It really does just sort of blend in. Because if I really stick my face in here, I can see that there's a couple spots that didn't have toner stick, but you really can't see them. Okay, I'm going to run these two through, and then I can show you what those look like. This is fun. I enjoy experimenting. I don't really get a lot of time to play with this sort of stuff. But that's what these little sessions are all about. Setting aside time for crafting when the Super Bowl is on and our husbands are busy. Mine is not watching the Super Bowl. He's outside. Okay, so let's pop this out. Ooh, good. I'll just put this on my tray here. And then we'll pop this one out. Ooh, very cool. Oh my. Okay. So, well, here, I'll just hold it up. So this is the reverse foiling, the one that we used on the blue. Oh, that's really fun. Look at that. Isn't that great? And see how it kind of like sparkles because of that hammered finish. It's not just plain silver. So that is really cool. Okay, Shelby, can you please add that I need to order these tonered panels from Pink and Maine? I love those. Okay, so that's that. And then this is, let me get my tweezers here. This is the thank you with the hammered foil on white with that. Isn't that cool? Really, really cool. Okay, so I love those. So I will die cut all of these out afterwards. And then again, with this piece here, I will not throw that out because I can use that to cut out dies and do fun things with. So I really like that. So when you are sticking your tape to these foiled pieces, be really careful when you're taking it off. You don't want to peel the foil off, but it's not doing it if I'm just careful. I'm not removing any of the foil from that. So I can die cut all those out and save that foil piece. So that's cool. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our Glimmer machine. You can use toner panels. Thank you, Shelby. You can use toner panels on your Glimmer machine, which I'm going to show you because I know that this is confusing for people because we say toner foil is mink and fuse and Glimmer foil is to be used on the Glimmer machine. But there are exceptions. Now, if I decided I wasn't going to cut all these out now, I could slip my toner, my pre-foiled panel in here with this. And the next time I pull this set out, I'm going to have these there. And I can just cut them out. I might go, oh, I think I'll use a foiled sentiment. So, but I am going to cut them out and I'm going to put them in storage because I want to be able to use them right away. So I'm going to slip this one back in here because I obviously used part of it last time. And then we're going to move on. We will move on to a different foil panel. This time I'm going to use something with an image. Okay, so this time I'm going to pull out this. So this is a pre-tonered panel. Let me turn this off. And it is a birthday one. And I'm going to use it on my Glimmer machine instead of my fuse or my mink. So I still have to use toner foil because I'm going to be working with a toner panel. Okay, that part is the same. We're just going to slide this over here and I'm going to get it heating up. And then I'm going to see because people are talking and I don't know if they're asking questions. Okay, so we're going to get that warming up while we chat. Let's see here. For the Glimmer, what color cardstock do you use with the opal foil? Well, Angela, I believe you can use opal on anything. So opal would be more of a finish than a color. And so it's kind of going to be a tone on tone look that you get. So if you have let's say you had this in the form of a plate, okay, like a better press plate, it's pretty busy. Okay. And this is one that would look very nice with opal foil because it's more of a tone on tone. So if you use red cardstock with your opal foil, you're going to get this impression but it's just going to give you that opal finish on the red. It's not going to give you a color. So I think it's very forgiving. Now, this particular panel that I'm using here, I think I actually did a card with this a while back, and I want to say I still have some. It's a birthday card, obviously. Just going to see if I can grab it, because then you can see what it looks like finished. I may have used them all. I don't know. But I hope that explanation makes sense. It's more of a tone on tone. Oh, here it is. Look at that. I knew I remembered it. Ha. Yeah, show that afterwards. But oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, good. Good. I'm not going to demo the opal tonight, but I mean, it is something I can do in the future for sure. I was wondering if toner was possible on the Glimmer. Yes, it is. Okay, so here's the thing. If you have not purchased a machine at all, you have not dove into the whole foiling world, or let's say you have this, but you don't have this. You have the mink or the fuse, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know. I don't need both. You don't have to have both to use the toner panels, but what you do need to have is a solid foil plate. So we have these, and Shelby, I did not check this before I went live, from Prism Studio. We try to keep this in stock, and if we don't, we will get a whole bunch more, because this is something that people really like to use. So this allows you to do a lot of things, but it does allow you to use your toner panels on here. So this is your heat source. This is your heat source, and the pressure will be your die cutting machine. So the Glimmer machine works with the platinum machines from Spellbinders. Obviously, they are the ones that make this. And it also works with the Big Shot. So if you have a Big Shot machine, you don't have to buy a new die cutting machine in order to jump into the Glimmer world, which is kind of nice. I love that they made it compatible with that. So the trick to this is this plate. So what you do when you are working with anything on the Glimmer machine, this is your heat source. So this platform here is plugged into the base, and it is going to heat up, and you're going to put your plate on there, and the plate's going to heat up at the same time. So rather than running through rollers in the mink machine or the fuse that are heated and pressured, this is your heat source. And then the plates are going to get fused together with the foil when you run it through your die cutting machine. There's some kind of reaction between this plate and the heat and the foil that makes this work. I don't know the science behind it, but I just know it works. So what you do to make this work is you put your foil down first. Now I have a little note here when I'm using Glimmer that the shiny side goes down, and that I can never remember, so I made myself a little label and I stuck it there so that I know. So the first thing I'm going to need is some foil, and I'm going to do something kind of fun. This one has little stars in it. Can you see that? Twinkle stars. Now the printing is kind of bold on this, so I'm gonna try it. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull out a piece of foil. Of course, I don't have one cut. That would just be too easy. If I had my new system in place, it would be easy, but I don't. So we're just gonna, oh, look, here's a piece that started. Okay, so you can see those stars on there, right? Can you see them on there? So I'm going to cut a piece big enough to go over this. Flip it over this way. And I'm going to just measure. How big is this? 5.5. Okay, so I'm going to go to here. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to here. If I don't get edge to edge, I'm not worried, because I'll probably use a die to cut out the panel anyway, so it's not a big deal. Well, I'm going completely sideways here, so let me spin that around. And where's my X-Acto knife? Jillian, where are you? Okay, here it is. All right, so I'm going to just cut this. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this. I'm going to put shiny side down onto the foil plate. Then I'm going to put my panel black side down onto the foil. Now, again, this may not give me edge to edge. I'm going to try to get this on as best I can. I might just make it, but if it's not 100% perfect, I'm not worried because I'm going to probably cut that out. Then you get a couple of plates here. Here they are. So you put down your shim, the green shim, and then your plate on top. So that's your sandwich. Okay. I'm just going to unlodge this. And now I'm going to go run it through my Platinum 6. And it's just like running through a regular die cut sandwich. You take all your plates out and you just run through this Glimmer sandwich we just made. And then, and don't rush when you're running it through. Just go through kind of slowly, like not super slow, but remember, we're not rushing. We're just going to run it through. And then I'll bring it back. And I'll flip these plates off. And I'm going to take off this. Ugh, there we go. So you can see that it's nice and smooth and flat. I'm just going to let it cool for a second. And then I'm going to peel this off. Okay, and everywhere that there was foil, like you can see a little bit on the black on the edges, that's because my foil didn't reach over that far. But I'm going to try to get all of those stars. See how, can you see the stars kind of twinkling? Isn't that very cool? So that panel is now foiled. And I used toner products with the Glimmer machine. Oh, Jillian's here. I found it. So how fun is that? So I don't own, like I didn't even use any kind of plate except the flat one. Right? So cool. So again, this video is going to live on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. So you can add it to your own YouTube playlist. And then if you have questions, I can always refer you back to this. Yeah, you do need a Glimmer. It's pretty freaking cool. I just love it. It's so versatile and you can do so many things. And it's perfect. It just does such a great job. So all of these foil panels that I have here in this basket that I could use in my Mink, I can also use on here. So yeah, it's a wonderful option. And the key to it is this plate. That's it. Shelby, did you know if we have them in stock or not? Oh, we do have a few in stock. Okay, perfect. So it's under Prism Studios. It's 2-word, Prism Studios, and you will see this large foil plate. If you haven't tried it and you have the supplies, definitely give it a go. Because if you got your Glimmer out already, you can do some of both. You know, Glimmer or Mink. Well, okay, so here's the deal, Jillian. If you want to be able to use better press plates for foiling, so if you want to use the plates for foiling, but you also want the option to do toner, this is 100% the way to go because you can do both. Okay? You cannot use plates in the Mink or the Fuse. You can't run them through there. But this is what will allow you to do both. Just Platinum and Big Shot. Yes. Actually, you know what? I think there's a couple of other machines that it works with, but they're very odd machines. So you can go to their website and check that out, but I don't remember the names. Those were the two big ones. And Colleen, yes, you do have to try this. Yep. So Shelby's hilarious. She really wasn't going to get into the foiling thing. She wasn't going to do it. She wasn't going to do it. And then she did it. But she was smart because I think it's smart to go Glimmer with a solid foil plate. And that way, oh, and intercut works too. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. There must be a sandwich for that. But it's good because you can do both. Now you can't laminate things with this. So if that's an option that you would like to have for yourself, you can go with both, and then you would have the option to do that. But yeah. Any questions? You guys like that? It's very fun, right? Okay, so now we're going to remove this hot foil plate, which is too hot for me to touch. Okay, hang on. Let me just get this foil out of the way. I got to make sure that my toner foil goes on one shelf here, because if I don't, I'm going to end up with a mess trying to figure out what foil goes with what project. And again, here's this piece. I wish I had another one of those panels. I can put this over top of another pre-printed toner panel, whether it be black, white, or that ombre that we had. Put that on, and I can use this piece. So I'm going to save it. So if you have a mink, a glimmer, and a better press, does that mean you have a problem? Absolutely not. I have all those things. Are you telling me I have a problem? I don't see the problem. I mean, there is no problem. It's amazing. You can do all the things. That's what it means. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to take, oh yeah, I was going to get rid of this. So if you have magnets for your glass board, they work great for picking up foil plates. They're very strong, so you definitely can use them for that. There is a magnet that comes with the Glimmer machine, but it's not very strong, and I find with the bigger plates like that, they don't work. Well, Jillian, if you're going to be my assistant, you have to have all the tools. So if you need to explain that to someone, I will back you up. Okay. So now we're going to go we did mink on its own, or fuse, whatever you want to use. And then we did sort of a combined option. And now we're going to go with just strictly Glimmer. Okay. So I'm going to plug my platform back in so it can heat up. And I'm going to pull out a better press plate that I have in my stash that does just generic sentiments. Okay. So this one is You Are Everything. I think we might have one of these in stock. I'm not sure. What type of an investment is this? Well, you can just march on over to our online store and you can plug that in there and you can see. It's not so terrible. What it does is it opens up. I need a bigger craft room. Well, that might be more of an investment. If you got to move or do a big renovation, that might be a problem. What was I going to say? The thing is with foiling, what it does is it just elevates everything. And it's fun. It's just so fun. So I'm going to put my plate on here and it's going to warm up. So this is a better press plate. So I can use that in the better press platform with ink, and I can stamp this as well as foil it. So that's the great thing about the better press plates. But if you're not interested in the better press part, then you don't have to have that in order to use the plates to foil. So if that's not something you're interested in, just wipe it out of your mind. The better press, you have to kind of think of it like a stamping platform. Just like you do the Misty. It allows you to stamp with the plates. That's what it is. You don't think twice about buying a Misty to help you get stamping results that are good. And it allows you to use these plates for foiling and for stamping. So that is cool. But if you don't think you're going to use the stamping part of it, that's okay. You can use them for the foiling only. And it's very cool. So while that's warming up, I'm going to cut a piece of foil. Now I'm going to flip to Glimmer foil. Now I'm going to do something really cool. What I really love is I love to have black background with white printing. And the only way to get that is to heat emboss. And I really don't enjoy that process. Again, it's one of those things you got to pull out a bunch of stuff and you got to do it. Again, I do it, but I don't love doing it. So I'll do a bunch of them. This I love. This is very cool. So I am going to, how long does this need to be? About 6 inches. Okay. So I love the results that this gives. This was a game changer for me. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is just awesome. So I'm using white foil, and I'm going to grab a piece of black cardstock. Okay. And you can do it the other way around too. You can grab white cardstock and black foil. So it would be kind of like stamping it. I just have to grab the black cardstock. Let me go to my scrap bin and grab that. Oh yeah, I brought my scrap bin over here somewhere, didn't I? Oh, it's right there. I'm going to just grab a piece of black. Now I have no idea what kind of black cardstock this is, so that's a bit of a gamble. But we'll just try. I don't think there's like the perfect black cardstock. It's not long enough though. I might have to cut one. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about this end sentiment. I'm just going to, or maybe I won't worry about the top one. I'm going to worry about the bottom here. Okay, that's how we're going to go. But now I'm going to get foil on my plate. Okay, so shiny side down. Shiny side down. Okay, and then this is going to go on top. Now I can't see. That's okay. We're going to wing it here. I'll be able to use most of the sentiments, and that's all that really matters. Okay, there we go. The light has, well, it's probably ready, but I'll push the button. And then where's my, oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, Shelby, it makes a difference. I love the wow factor. Yes. Okay. Oh, I love using white foil on black cardstock. It's one of my favorites. Oh, Sorum, you haven't tried this? It's kind of almost as great as the rest, only better. Like it just, I feel like getting that nice crisp white on black is really cool. So we're just waiting for this to be, the timer light to go off. I want to make sure it's hot enough. So again, we've got our better press plate with the bumps up, like the impression up. We've got our foil with the shiny side down, and then we've got our paper. And then I'm going to put the green piece and then the top plate on top. Okay, we're done flashing. Perfect. And we're going to take this out, and I'm going to run it through my machine. I'm going to go kind of slow just to make sure that I get lots of pressure and that heat is just being pushed right into the foil. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this back over here. So this is just how the Glimmer works. And again, you can just, get out all your favorite plates and you can just foil up a bunch of them. And then you are going to be good to go. So here is the piece that we better pressed. No, not better pressed, foiled. And I'm just going to peel this off. Oh my gosh. Now my piece of paper was not big enough, and I'm okay with that, but I'll just hold this up there so you can see how amazing that looks. I hope that does not look blurry because it's not. It's perfect. So now I can take the plate that comes along with this. Oh, Jillian, I really need you. I'm just struggling here. You know what it is? I'm already, oh, here it is. I'm 6 steps ahead in my brain, and I don't think about where I put anything. Okay. So now let's just see which way this goes. Oh, here we go. So this is just going to go on here. I have to cut this out because you guys have to see how amazing this is. So I'm just taking my time to make sure I've got it all lined up. And I'm going to put some tape on here so it doesn't shift while I die cut. Okay. And I'm going to run this through my machine, just like I would a regular die. So for me, having black and white foil is just as important as having gold and silver as my go-to colors. And then all of these lovely sentiments are just going to pop right out here. And then I'm just going to tuck these away in my stash. And when I need them, I don't have to pull all this out. They're just going to be sitting there waiting for me. And they're going to look like, okay, that one's garbage because I can't use that. They're going to look like I heat embossed. So here is how that looks. Isn't that amazing? Like, I love, love, love how the black and white look together. So here's another one. And you cannot duplicate this with embossing powder. I'm not steering you guys wrong. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's just amazing. Yeah, it's so good. So those are all done. I did have a couple that were cut off because I didn't have a piece of paper that was large enough. But look how amazing that is. And this is a really nice set. Yeah. So much better than embossing. It's just, it's flawless. It really is. Like this one turned out so good too. Look at that. Now, let's do, we got to do some sort of color. Okay. So we can do, so I'm going to show you one now that's not available. Well, it is available. We just don't have it anymore. The white on black is your favorite. Well, so it's just such a classic look. I mean, you can put it on anything and it's just really great. So it's something that you're going to use a lot. And without having to, have the mess of embossing, it's just so great. So do the Better Press plates emboss into the paper? They do 100%. Not so much when you glimmer. You get a little bit. It debosses a little bit. I will say yes. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Let me just see if I can find one that, because it kind of does. But if you are, if you use a really, I don't think you can really see it on there. If you use, if you're using it to stamp with the Better Press machine, you can buy cotton paper, and or if you use just a heavier, like even 110 weight paper, the thicker it is, it will actually push right into the paper and it gives you a debossed look. So that is actually really cool. I'm lesson planning right now, but I want to ditch all that and go foil. Oh yeah, well, I have a lot of times, I always tell myself, you do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. So you get that lesson planning done, and maybe one night this week, even if you just take an hour, Sora, and just go in your craft room, close the door, and just foil for an hour. You can get a lot done in an hour. What brand is the white foil? It is Glimmer. I have a package here that's not opened yet. So it is Spellbinders Hot Glimmer Hot Foil. And it comes in a pack of 2, like you get the black and the white together. It's really great. I'm not sure what our inventory is like. If things are missing, guys, if you're looking for stuff, please just email us. We will put you on the notify list. A lot of these things are ordered and they're just starting to flow in. So we had a bit of a lag right after Christmas where we were recovering from a very busy holiday season. And then I think the manufacturers were too, because it was just they were taking a long time to ship, but things are starting to move well now. So we're gonna start to see our inventory levels go back up. And then they have big trade shows that they're going to right now. We're heading into that season, so it's huge, and we're looking at new brands and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's going to be a great year. But yes, communicate with us by email. Anything you're looking for, anything you want to be notified about, just let us know and we are on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out a set. We can still order this. I just don't have it in stock now. It's older, but I want to choose it and show it to you because it is, it's a bolder print and it is a foil plate. So this one is not one that you can use in your Better Press. Okay, so this is the Simon Hurley birthday sentiments. We always need birthday stuff. There is a Christmas one too, but I did check before I went live. We can still order this from Spellbinders. So I do have an order going in tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm going to tell you tomorrow because you can't wait till Tuesday because then you'll have to wait till the next order. So if there's something that you want from Spellbinders, like you can go on their website and look at all their better press plates. And if there's sentiment sets you want or anything like that, just let us know and we're happy to bring them in. So, because we don't have a lot in stock right now, we did one of our 7 days of savings was all the better press stuff. So we got wiped out and we're just in the process of deciding what to restock. We like to carry all the new things. Oh, there's still tape on the back of this. Dang. I don't want to fuss with this. But this is a bolder plate. I don't think I'm going to be able to use that. See, there's tape on the back and I don't want to put it on here because I feel like it's going to stick on there. We're going to wing it. Okay, let's just do it. We can do it. Okay, so we're going to put that on there. And this time I'm going to use, what can I use? Let's use, do I have a color that you want to see? We can do a rainbow one. So I can glimmer foil with all of my better press plates. You sure can. 100%. Foil plates, or sorry, better press plates are the new foil plates. Teal? Ooh, I think I have teal. Okay, let's do teal. So let me grab teal. I have ooh, this one's kind of fun. What is this called? This is aqua. So this is a variety pack. So sometimes the foils come in these packs here, these variety packs. And this one has, see how it's got a bit of a, like a, I don't know, kind of, what is that called? Oh, the word is gone. What's it? Oh my gosh, it starts with an H. Holographic kind of look. We'll use that one. And I've never even opened this pack before. Add to wish list. Yes, holographic. See, I knew it was a word. Okay, so we're going to, ooh, I have used this before. Look at this. There it is. So we're going to place a shiny side down. Like so. And I need some white cardstock. So I like to use Hammermill when I foil on white. Hammermill works very well with Glimmer. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to just grab a piece here. This is going to be pretty. So whoever suggested teal, I think it was Jillian. Let me just cut a piece here. Sorry, I'm not prepared. Okay. And now we're going to put our paper on top. And we're going to put the green shim and this. Now, I didn't push this button for the timer because I know it's been sitting on here long enough, so we should be good. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take it over to my die cut machine. I'm going to run it through. And I'm just taking my time. Now remember, this one is not better press, so it cannot be used in the better press machine. This is just strictly foil. It is an older one, so that's why it is a foil plate. They're not really making foil plates anymore. They're just making better press, so you have the option. They can do a lot more detail. Okay, my foil is not transferring. Should I heat it longer? Okay, Colleen, are you using Glimmer? And are you, like, tell me what you're working with. Is it the solid foil plate? Is that what you're trying to do? Haha, that's hot. So we're just going to let this cool down. Okay, we're going to peel this off. Ooh la la. Okay, I'm just going to pull this up here so you can see that. Isn't that cool? So it's teal, but it's not teal. When the light catches it, isn't that really cool? Like, wow. I love how that turned out. Now, these are nice chunky sentiments, and then there is a die that goes with it. It's a 1-pass die, and you just layer it on there, and then they're all going to cut out. Now you can see here I got a little bit of overfoiling there. You see that where it's kind of smeared? So a little trick. I'm watching for Colleen. Gemini foil press with Spellbinder's foil plate sentiment. Okay. Well, that one I would have to think about because I have not used the foil press in a very long time. Okay. So what I'm looking for is this sand eraser here. So this will remove overfoiling. Now, if you've got a lot of overfoiling, then not so much. But if I take this, I can just run it in the areas where the foil is not supposed to be, and it should remove it if it's not too bad. So you can save your sentiments by doing this. Now, by the time I die cut that out, that will look just fine. I didn't fix the T yet. I did the Y. But most of the other ones are fine. If there's one sentiment that I can't use, I'm not worried about it. Oh, Natalie. Okay, so here's a question. Let's address it. How many people have foiled their plates by mistake? Asking for a friend. I could pull out plates that have been foiled. I've done it. Everyone will do it. And it does not hurt your plate, just so you know. You can still continue to use your plate, and it's not the end of the world. But when you do it, you're like, oh my God. Oh yeah. So we've all done it. You're in good company. Okay, so that's it. Is there anything else that you want me to show you? Because I can do any more, but otherwise I'm gonna call it a night because I think I've shown all the thing. I just want to make sure that everybody's questions are answered and that we kind of covered everything. So we started out with the mink, so it could be mink or fuse, and we did just strictly toner foiling. We did the regular and we did reverse, which was really cool. Then I came over to the Glimmer machine and I showed you how to use the solid foil plate to use your toner products on. And then we did just strictly Glimmer. Right? So I think we covered all of the basics. So I think we're going to be good. Saving this one for reference. Yes. And it's one, because you don't do it all the time, it's going to be something that you're going to have to watch a couple of times or do a couple of times, or make yourself a little cheater note that you can pull out. And you can laminate it if you want to with your mink machine, and then you can just pull it out, and that way you can refer to it. Just make, Jillian. My assistant's quitting on me already. Yes, I'm calling in sick tomorrow so I can foil everything. Yep. And you know what? You don't need a lot of time. You really don't. Pull out 1 or 2 dies or plates or foil panels or whatever you want to work with, and just foil a few things. Just focus on that. Don't plan on creating anything. Just foil and just play with it a little bit and get comfortable with it and build up a stash so that you don't have to pull it out all the time, and that you can just kind of go and grab your pre-foiled sentiments. Because I plan on cutting all of these out, and then I'm going to file them away in my little filing system there, and then they'll be ready for me. So have fun with it. I have not foiled a plate yet, probably because I haven't done much foiling using plates. Please don't ask about my toner foil card carrier sheets. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's all part of it. It really is. It's a learning experience. It's fun. We all make the same mistakes. Cheat sheets are good. And just spend a little bit of time doing it, and then you'll start to get really comfortable with it. But happy foiling, and we will see you again soon.